How are you? Happy Saturday. Happy March 1st. Wow, where does the time go? How are you? Welcome to Positively Spiritual. My name is Shannon Gilmore. Hi. It is nice to see you, my friend. On this channel, you will find hope, healing, help, and restoration for your weary soul. Why is your soul weary? Because you probably are dealing with trauma from the narcissist and you're in a state of what the frick? What the fudgicles is going on? Yeah. Here we dig down deep into the heart of the matter through psychology, through spiritual assertions, and through scientific understanding. We dig it out. I mean, all of it. We're here to expose all of it. The spiritual aspects of narcissism, as we call them out, as the demon-possessed people that they are, as they are not human, as they are inhumane, dehumanized, as they continue to dehumanize us. And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the fallout of being dehumanized. And we also unpack the scientific aspects of the spirituality or the hidden energetic underpinnings of how people are able to communicate energetically and how we absorb other people's energy, and how science has proven that our brains, our neurons, are actually hardwired to think about ourselves and other people, and the narcissist brainwashes us to get our cells, our neurons, to generate and grow as there is an overgrowth of neurons that totally fixate on the narcissist and not so much on ourselves. So this is what we do on this channel. We give you the understanding, the nuts and bolts of what makes you tick and what makes the narcissist tick. So welcome. You are welcome to email me, Shannon Gilmore, Gilmour, at protonmail.com. My email is listed in the description of this video, wherever it is, here or maybe. And you are welcome to join in the chat, but please just be kind and courteous to your audience, because you know what? Respect goes a long way, and respect is earned, not automatically granted. And you know what? You show people who you are by the speech patterns and by what you say. You're welcome to respond to people. Just watch how you respond. Are you responding to come together and learn? Or are you responding just to be right and to be heard in the way of finding validation? Good afternoon, Cynthia. Hello, Scarlett. Nice to see you all here. Welcome. So please just be polite, be courteous, because what I really want to say is that when you respect other people, it gets reciprocated. It doesn't matter if you're feeling sour or you're feeling today. You know what? We all have those days, but we all show up. Treat everybody as an invited guest into your personal space. And what do you do with invited guests? You treat them with conscientiousness, courteousness, mercy, kindness, and grace, as God invites you into his house. You're his invited guest. And how does he treat you? Oh, with, preferential treatment. Everybody gets treated the same way. God doesn't say no to us. So if you have it in you to give, then please give your kindness through being polite and courteous. Okay, I'm done lecturing. Let's get on with this video. How are you doing? Today, I want to just dig into some more Cora questions, because I've been asked these questions, and you know, they're concerning. There are a lot of hurting people out there, and there's a lot of confusion, and I know I've experienced this question myself, not in this way, but you know, I've often thought, oh, nobody's gonna love me, and I'll never find a love. Like, this sucks. Like, is there anybody in this world that can love me, God? Seriously. Because I came out of my narcissistic relationship saying, all men are alike. I'm sorry, men. I'm sorry for saying that. No, not all men are alike. I mean, narcissists, they are alike, but they're still unique. As each narcissist pulls on your uniqueness and draws it out. Cynthia says, very nice. That's great news. Oh, what's the news? Oh, you will be playing some guitar tonight, Andrea. Okay, everybody. I would encourage you to go to Andrea's YouTube channel. You can find her on The Goose Mother. This is a shout out because this girl plays the guitar and she also sings. I mean, this girl sings and she can sing. So I look forward to that. Awesome. May it go well for you. Well done. That's amazing. Okay, so Cynthia says, okay, I spent the morning planning a reopening of my Etsy shop, making my lovely soaps and serums again. Well done. Okay, can you send us a link or send me an email? More, you're in the Telegram channel, so can you please send us a telegram, in the Telegram, the link to your Etsy page, because I personally want to showcase this, and I want to showcase, Andrea, are you on our Telegram? Are you? I'm going to check. Yeah, because I'm going to showcase your lovely ladies' links, if you don't mind. May I have your permission to showcase your links on our private group chat in Telegram? I want us to support each other on our endeavors, on our hobbies, on our likes, our dislikes, what's going on in our lives, and celebrate our wins. This is a huge win for you ladies. Well done. This is awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. Oh my gosh. You guys, creativity is a must. And that's something that the narcissist lacks, as that's what they take away from us, our creativity. And creativity is so needed in this world. No, you're not on Telegram. Okay. You have my permission. Okay, thank you very much. Awesome. Yeah, you guys, I love seeing raw talent. I love seeing real talent. I love seeing the beauty of your souls shine. Like, this is just amazing. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right, so today I want to talk about, we're going to try and get into a few questions here, but one of the main questions that I was asked this morning on Quora, and I have yet to write down a response, but I needed some time to think about this, and I'm going to just flesh it out here on this channel because it's a question that needs to be heard. It needs to be out in the open. How do you recognize genuine love after experiencing narcissistic relationships? That is an awesome question. Like, so profound. Like, I can't even begin. I'm getting chills. And it's a difficult one to answer or to find the answer when you're 111, good numbers, when your heart is deep in this despair. Think of your life as being on a spectrum, okay? Let me see. I got a pen here. Okay. So, just give me a second here. Hang on, I'm getting somewhere with this, just a second. Okay, I know this is probably going to be backwards. Good life, bad life, okay? Happy, sad. And in the middle is the neutral, okay? So God says, you are neither hot nor cold. I will spit you out of my mouth. You're hot on fire for God, or hot on fire for the enemy. Or you're cold for the enemy and hot for God. Or hot for the enemy and cold for God. But if you're neutral, he's going to spit you out of his mouth. Want nothing to do with you. Because God can use you either way. God uses the narcissist, right? If God uses a narcissist, he's definitely going to use us. But think of your despair and your life, okay? Your life in general. Think of it as a spectrum. And your life is weighed through your emotions, okay? And when we come out of narcissistic relationships, we are obviously on the fire for the negative spectrum, the unwanted negative feelings of sadness, despair, alienation, like we feel so separate from everything and everyone, even God. We feel like we're just set apart in a negative way. And so when you're fixated on the negative, think of the colors of the rainbow as being the spectrum, okay? So you have Roy G. Biv. Excuse my messy, I tried to write backwards. Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, indigo, violet. Okay, those are the colors of the rainbow. Now, look at this. You've got one side of the rainbow and the other side. Does the red have anything to do with the violet? No. They're so separate from each other. But when you get in the middle, it's the yellow and green have everything to do with each other because they're touching. So the colors have everything to do with the colors that are on either side. So does sadness have anything to do with happy? No. So when you're sad and despair, of course you can't get from here to there instantaneously. It's not gonna, it's not gonna work. Yeah, so, okay. So it's not gonna work. Just as you can't get from happy to sad, it's like walking down the stairwell. When you're happy and you turn to sadness, it's like you're taking steps. And it's dependent on the situation, the severity of the situation that causes you to slide down right away. You know, like when you're going down a slide and you just whee, and it feels almost instantaneous. Going down a slide is quicker than going down a set of stairs, obviously. So depending on the severity of the trauma that you endure, you're going to reach from happy or content to sadness in increments. But when it's really bad trauma, you're going to feel like you're just sliding, like, oh, it's instantaneous. So the point is, in your awareness, you have to become aware of the state that you're in order to help yourself get out of this state of despair. And so until that happens, answering this question, how do you recognize genuine love after experiencing narcissistic relationships? You've got to heal that trauma first so you can see what love truly is. And in order to see what love truly is, you need to see what hate or ignorance or ambivalence or apathy really is. Because apathy is on the other side of the spectrum. You have love and you have fear. Okay? You have love, you have fear. Or love, fear. And there is a neutrality as well, okay, in the middle. So where you have love, you have empathy. Where you have fear, you have apathy. And when you come out of a state of narcissistic abuse, where do you think you are? You're in fear. Totally. Totally. And so if you're fearful, you're apathetic to love, you're apathetic to yourself, you're apathetic to your needs, you're apathetic to other people in the way of meeting their needs because you're burned out. So how do you recognize genuine love? We've shared this on this channel. You seek within. You go within and you search yourself. See, narcissists, they have a way of forcing us to disassociate ourselves with ourselves. They cause us to unfriend ourselves or try to divorce ourselves from ourselves. What does that mean? That sounds like I'm talking in circles, doesn't it? Well, it simply means that when you're with a narcissist, you lose your ability of self-awareness, which is your autonomy. Your self-awareness is the ability to focus, laser beam focus on yourself in a spiritual way. See, the narcissist wants us to focus on ourselves with these eyes. They want us to look at ourselves and deal with ourselves through the fleshly lens. And so when we're always focused on the flesh, of the carnality, of pleasing the narcissist, doing what they want us to do, and they serve the flesh. So as you see here, happy, sad, love, or fear, fear, love. These are opposites of each other, right? This world is run on opposites. You can't have fear without love, and you can't have love without fear. You can't have happy without sad. You can't have sad without happy. You just hang on to one and you take the use and the energy out of that and deplete it of its energy. And then when it's depleted of its energy, you switch to the next one. So usually when you deplete it of its energy, you have no more use for it. See, fear is fleeting. With love is endless. Love is eternal. Fear is not eternal. So that's why when you challenge your fear, it's short-lived. That's how we heal from narcissistic trauma. We challenge these fears. We take a look at these fears. We take a look at apathy. I mean, when you think about it, you already feel unworthy. You already feel abandoned. You already feel rejected. So what's the worst that can happen? More feelings of unworthiness, more feelings of rejection? Well, see, that's the thing with fearing the fear and fearing these feelings. Yes, these feelings can become stronger, but they're not sharing with you anything that you don't already recognize. So how can they hurt you more? You are allowing this pain to intensify. And normally, how to heal, things have to become like, okay, think of this as a story. When you're developing a story, you have conflict, and there has to be conflict resolution. But before conflict resolution takes place in the story, you have the climax where the conflict reaches its apex. It can't get any higher. It can't get any worse. And then it falls. And when it starts falling, it falls because there's a resolution. There's a solution that leads to resolution. That's like our fears inside of us. The fear of being rejected, abandoned, alone, unworthy. All these feelings reach a climactic apex to where they can't get any worse. And you know that saying, it often gets worse before it gets better? That is true. Because when you recognize that, you know, my fears aren't telling me anything that I don't already know, that I don't already understand. So what does it serve me? Well, these get worse and worse and worse. And the only thing that gets worse is the feeling of intensity. That's it. It's the intensity that you're dreading. It's the intensity that makes you feel uncomfortable. And that's basically what we're fighting. It's not the fear itself, it's the uncomfortability within the fear that we are fighting. We don't want to feel uncomfortable because we don't know how to deal with that uncomfortable feeling. Well, how do you deal with the uncomfortable feeling? You sit with it. You observe it. Okay. I'm going to share something with you. Okay. I had asthma, like severe asthma as a kid, like almost died and suffocated kind of severity. Okay. When you feel like you're suffocating, you automatically go into panic. It's just a natural state for your body and for your soul to just fight to stay alive. And the thing is that they don't tell you, doctors don't tell you this, I had to learn for myself, is that when you panic in anything, the situation becomes worse. How so? The feelings intensify. That's all. It's the feeling that gets worse, not necessarily the situation. And in these times where I was dealing with asthma, you're told to breathe when you can't breathe. It's like trying to breathe. You know, have you ever tried to sip thick milkshake through a straw? That's exactly what it's like to try to breathe when you are going through a severe asthma attack. You can't breathe. And it's like, you know, close off your throat and try to inhale, you feel it in your gut. You feel it in your solar plexus where your gut tries to deflate like a balloon trying to suck up, but there's nothing there. It's stuck. It's like a doorway. And that's exactly what it feels like when you're trying to breathe, when you have an asthma attack. So what happens is you automatically go into panic. Well, one summer, I was staying in a small room. And this was during the time of COVID. And so my daughter and I had to share a room. And this room was, I slept on the floor, she had the bed, and the floor was just like an aisle, like it would fit a dresser and just a little space like this. This room was maybe 6 feet or maybe 8 feet wide, maybe. And so it was, a top floor. So the heat of the sun was coming in this big picture window, beautiful window, letting all the sunlight in. But it was like we were going through a heat wave during this time. And at night, it was, you got the window open, but there's like dead air coming in the window, and it's hot, dead air. And then you've got the dark of the night coming in as well. And it was just, it reminded me of the suffocation that I felt going through these asthma attacks. Like I just was like ready to, like my mind was like ready to explode and burst. Like I really don't know how people endure solitary confinement, because that's what this felt like. It felt like the walls and the actual air was closing in on me and I couldn't escape. And my mind wanted to panic, but because I went through what it feels like to panic in my asthma attacks, because this was starting to feel exactly the same thing, even though I could breathe, I felt spiritually I couldn't breathe. And I had to talk myself down. Don't panic. It's okay. It's okay. Just sit with this. You are safe. It's okay. This is only heat. This is okay. You'll be fine. You are okay. You're safe. Just breathe. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you, hi Joe, nice to see you. Hi Jeanette. Hi Cynthia. Hi Andrea. Hi everyone. It's nice to see you. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because feelings are just that. They cannot physically harm you. But when you react according to how you feel, your choice or your actions, whatever you think you're forced into a choice, whatever choice you make, that choice is what leads to destruction in your panic. It's not the feeling itself. Feelings reach an apex or a climax of intensity. And when you feel that, when you are at the climax of intensity, that apex moment, that's when you can decide for yourself to take control. And when you decide to take control and stop reacting to that negative feeling and just detach the panic feeling and say, no, I'm safe. And choose to take control in keeping yourself safe by regulating your breathing, looking at your outside environment to prove to yourself that you are safe. This is just a feeling. What happens? That intensity falls and you come to a conflict resolution. And that's what happened for me. And that's what happened for me in those asthma attacks too. Sometimes that puffer, the ventilator, didn't work. And during this time, as a kid, I wasn't following Jesus. Nobody prayed for me. I didn't pray for myself. I panicked. I was in an oxygen tent so many times. And, and it takes a while for the oxygen tent to help. But what doesn't help is panicking. And that's what we go through at the discard. That's what we're going through when the narcissist leaves us or we leave the narcissist and this trauma bond kicks in, and those chemical dumps of cortisol, dopamine, oxytocin, whatever, the fear hormones that are like, oh, I'm lost, I'm losing. You're at a place of panic. And if you give into that panic, that's when those emotions can make or break you. Because panic is what forces us to do something about those feelings that we're feeling that make us feel uncomfortable. That's all negative feelings do, is make us feel uncomfortable. That uncomfortability disrupts our peace. That's it. This is the spiritual aspect that we're dealing with. We are making out our situations way more complicated than what they need to be. When we look at them from a spiritual lens, the underlying issue is negative, unwanted feelings make us feel more uncomfortable. And the reason why we allow them to continue is because we don't know how to stop the uncomfortability. We don't know how to get back to a place before the trauma happened, where everything was nice as rain, where everything was peaceful. Nobody tells us this, that it's a choice to choose to either to give into these feelings by allowing ourselves to feel uncomfortable or making the choice of peace. You have this decision within you. You have peace within you right now. Peace is a state of mind that creates a state of being. So when you're challenged with your uncomfortable emotions, you can have a choice to either let them rule you, like we talked about yesterday in yesterday's videos, both videos of, dealing with forgiveness and or we can just look at these feelings, see them truthfully for what they are, and know that we are in control. Feelings are located inside our house, our bodies, right? This is our house. We're rulers over this house, right? So it's time to step up and take ownership and jurisdiction and take back the title deed of your house, the temple. God has the title deed of your house, but he has given it to you on loaner to say, hey, I'm giving you authority to maintain this house for me. God is trusting you. And your feelings, the negative feelings, are the entity, the unwanted guests of your house that act demonic against you. So what are you going to do? Take control and rebuke. You don't have to be angry at these feelings. Stand firm and know where they're coming from and choose peace. No, I choose peace. I understand that I am extremely uncomfortable right now. I feel like I'm going to freaking lose it. And that is where you need to be. Whenever you feel like I'm going to lose it, I'm just breathe. Even when you're even those of you who have anxiety, when you recognize this, that your feelings are bringing you to a place of uncomfortability to cause you to panic. And panic is what the fear in you wants from you, because your fear breeds more fear in you. It keeps the ego, the negative entities of egoic nature alive in you. So when you can look at your feelings and stand there with your eyes closed, and breathe through this. Each time you practice this isn't going to feel good at the beginning, but every time you practice this, as you feel uncomfortable, and you practice breathing, and you practice centering your mind on your breath and on the moment of now, you dissipate the charge, the intensity of those feelings little by little. And what you are doing is taking down these feelings of sadness and transitioning to happy little by little, like walking up a set of stairs or going up an escalator slowly. Slowly but surely, you're moving forward in the right direction, and you're dissipating the charge of those negative feelings every time you practice mindfulness, every time you practice that, okay, my feelings are trying to reach an apex. But just like everything, water has a boiling point. And after it reaches its boiling point, it doesn't get hotter. It starts evaporating. It changes form. That's the same with our intensity of our emotions. When they are at their apex of intensity, they change form. How do they do that? We give in through action. That's how they change form. But when we just let a pot of water boil, it boils dry, right? So when we allow our intense feelings to percolate and boil and get to their intensity, we stay looking at them. We don't give our body the license to express these feelings, but we do feel the intensity, and we remain in control. And we look at ourselves as we look inwardly at these negative emotions. And we just breathe, and soon it comes down. It's like turning down the dial on the stove to the point where the water is boiling, but now you have the authority and the opportunity through your authority to turn down the dial and turn the burner off. And it's only when you start doing this is when you start seeing and recognizing genuine love after experiencing narcissistic relationships, because you cannot see love otherwise, because those intense emotions are in the way, because you are operating and looking at life from the negative perspective. You have to deal with the negative in order to get to the positive. I yelled my panic attack off my porch. Hey, Resistor. Hi, Jordan. Nice to see you. Hi, Michael. Nice to see you. Resistor, it's good to see you. Hi, everyone. Hi. Hi, Joe. How are you settling in, Joe? How are you settling in? Beautiful camper. I love it. Wow, a nice truck too. Wow, that's a nice looking truck. I like it. Joe sent a picture in our private Telegram chat of his camper and his truck. And nice digs. Nice digs. It's good to see you too, Jordan. And thank you so much for your support, Jordan. Thank you everyone for your support. Michael and Joe and Sophia and Sonia. You know, you guys are all, who else? Just people, you know, those of you who are not in the chat right now and possibly watching, thank you so much for your support, and thank you for your continued support. You know, you guys are showing me that, and showing the YouTube algorithms, that this channel is worthy, and I love doing this. Like, I am living my dream. You guys are helping me live my dream, live my calling. And I don't want to be doing anything else. I can't see myself doing anything else but writing and sharing and helping support our family in Christ. So thank you. Thank you so much. So recognizing genuine love, when you start dealing with these negative feelings, then you can allow love in. And where does genuine love come from? Well, the narcissist shows us what love is not. Love is not meant to be conditional. And God says, you know what? The enemy, evil people give even their children love and give to their children what their children ask for. So how much more is God going to give to you what you ask for? But see, we've been conditioned to view love as contractual or conditional. So it's going to take time to build up a trust, and we don't know what unconditional love looks like. Yes, you do. Absolutely, you do. Every time you enabled the narcissist, every time you overlooked their misstep, every time they were rude to you, disrespectful, undermining, gaslighting, every time they did something rude, mean, and abusive to you, and you let it go, that's what unconditional love is. However, unconditional love is never meant to be abused. It's a right as much as it is a privilege. It's a privilege to feel, and it's a privilege to give. Empathy is a privilege, and it's our inherent right as we are divine creatures. And we don't abuse it, but the narcissist has taught us to abuse it and just give it to other people instead of giving it to ourselves also. And so we don't know, or we seem like we don't know what unconditional love is, but we do. And that takes looking at the narcissist's behavior and what they have done, like their behavior in this narcissism, behavioral disorder. You take a look at everything, you know, you dissect and you flip narcissism inside out, like you inspect every detail. You know, the love bombing, the gaslighting, the manipulation, the cheating, the lying, the deception, the everything. And once you understand what narcissism is, then you can look at your own behavior, and you then can look at your behavior and start addressing your behavior with unconditional love. The attitude and the affection and the attention that you gave to the narcissist, now you give to yourself. And then when you start giving this to yourself on a regular basis, that is when you can recognize genuine love after experiencing narcissistic relationships, because you will then start attracting genuine love, because you are genuinely loving yourself and you have those boundaries, you have the assertiveness, you have the confidence in place. You're not emotionally attached to anybody, but you are now emotionally attached to Jesus Christ, and you are married to him in your self-awareness, that you are not looking at life just blindly and just going with the flow. You are actually taking responsibility for the emotions inside of you and looking at the outside of your life, not with judgment, but just an opportunity, whether it is good or bad, to grow and to love and to just honor life with your self-awareness. As we've been given the opportunity to see life from two sides. And the two sides of life is peace or chaos. And we judge the peace and the chaos as being good or bad, or righteous and unrighteous, or evil. When you stop looking at your feelings as being evil, like those negative emotions as being evil, you can just see them as, okay, they're unwanted. I don't want them. But you need to have unwanted feelings, those negative feelings in you, because you have to learn how to regulate your emotions appropriately. There is a time when those evil or negative emotions turn to good. How so? Well, when you're in a situation that requires sadness, you give yourself the time to express those negative or unwanted emotions, sadness, in order to release yourself of the burden of memory of a loss and a shared experience with others. You learn to dissipate and hold captive of these negatively charged emotions that allow you to heal. So negative emotions are used for your benefit because it's a part of the human experience. It's a part of, you can't feel loss without feeling gain. You can't feel gain without feeling loss. And that's what we're going through with this experience of narcissism. You're feeling loss and gains all the time. But we've learned, as we've been conditioned, to look at the gains and losses inappropriately, as we've been taught that gaining good things is bad for ourselves and loss is also bad. But our loss is to the benefit of the narcissist. So for them, they're using our loss as something good. See how we've learned to what is good is thought of as bad and what is bad is thought of as good? That's where I'm doing the brainwashing. And with true love, genuine love, there is no judgment. There's no conditions. It's not good, or a situation isn't good, a situation isn't bad. It can be unideal, not ideal. I'd rather not experience this, but I'm going to experience the sadness because it's for my benefit. So there you turn it into a win. Everything in your life can be turned into a win. Every single thing. Everything. Everything bad in your life is a win because it's meant to discipline you. It's meant to strengthen you. So it's just a matter of your perspective. Pretty interesting. Okay, so Cynthia says, you can definitely showcase my link when it's stocked. I'll be a busy beaver this week. Small business owner in effect. I'm so proud of you. You go, girl. So, good topic. Feel guarded. Awesome, Andrea. Awesome. It's good to see you. So let's see. I gotta scroll down. Okay. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Absolutely. Michael also says endurance. Yes, absolutely. Hi, Juliet. Nice to see you. Embracing your darkness. That's right. It's about, what did they say? The dark night of the soul. Oh my gosh, that's a brutal thing to go through. Going through the dark night of the soul. But God warned us. He says, what is the scripture? Though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Yeah. But dang it, it's a scary place to be when you don't. Oh, I'm just having a deja vu. Something familiar but unfamiliar. I don't know what that means, but it was pretty strong. It's like, been here before, but unfamiliar, but familiar. What? Wow. So Jordan says, then you were scammed. Yeah. No, it does not ask us for money. Okay. I'm not sure. Joshua was instructed to kill everyone, but he didn't listen. Why? Probably empathy. Where there's empathy, see, okay, unconditional love is eternal. Unconditional love keeps no record of wrongs. So if there's no record of wrongs, how can you unalive somebody? If you're not holding them into account, if you're not holding them to the wrongs that they committed against you, it's as if they never hurt you. See, in unconditional love, there is eternity. It's eternal. Love never fails. So when you're walking in God's character, when you are walking in his character, you're walking in his light. You're walking in this eternal love that says yes to everybody. Yes, yes, yes. Obedience is better than sacrifice, is it not? And so this is something that we have to go against. We have to go against what empathy dictates and become the warriors for God. And the warriors for God is to slay the Canaanites inside our hearts, and take over that Canaanite territory and leave no one alive. The dark night of the soul. Leave no emotional pain alive, meaning that you've got to make it null and void. Every unwanted or negative emotion inside of you, you have to take a look at every one of those and discharge that energy in a healthy way, so that when you are called to become sad or angry in a situation that's present, you're not reacting because it's got some emotional tie to your past. See, oftentimes that's why we're reacting to situations of the here and now, because they trigger us because of a memory, an emotional memory tied to our past. But when you deal with the past, then when you are faced with a situation that maybe normally would bring you to tears, it doesn't affect you anymore. And you can rise above it. So I think that's why Joshua and also King Solomon didn't obey that ordinance of unaliving everybody, women and men and children, because of the empathy. They had great empathy for people. And so this is a good question, because this helps us to understand that with our empathy, yeah, at the beginning of being discarded, at the beginning of feeling this tormenting, unrelenting pain, this scourge upon our hearts and our minds that the narcissist leaves behind, some of us are out for blood. Some of us are, okay, this is frickin' war. But when you start to heal, your empathy kicks in and you're no longer mad, you're no longer angry, you still don't trust the narcissist, but it's like your empathy kicks in and you're just like, I appreciate what the narcissist did for me, so how can I want their demise? How can I want, you know what? I'm not even going to think about it. God, it's in your hands. That's why God's wrath is up to him, because he knows what has been done in secret. We don't. And see, maybe that's why when God called his people to unalive the enemy, they couldn't, because they were just using their empathy. And we don't know what people do behind closed doors. We don't know the things that other people have done. And we're not supposed to judge. So God, that's why through Jesus, God has left the wrath of God up to himself. He's already dealt with it. He's already dealt with the enemy and judged the enemy at the cross. It's been dealt with. So we don't have to, because we're not judge and jury. How can we be if we're just unconditional love? And that's where discernment comes in. And we're here to serve, protect, and defend the defenseless. And we can only do that by using kingdom power and stepping into our own divinity. So that's what this is. This is training ground so that we can help the fallen as we've become fallen. And I'm not talking about fallen angels. I'm talking about we fell from our state of grace in the way of we became human. Having the experience of being hurt is the human experience. We experience it through the divine lens of empathy. We're experiencing this so that we can make our election sure. We made a choice to follow Jesus, and there's no going back from that. When Jesus comes back, that's it. We're solidified in the light. There's no more rebellion. So it's like, get it out now. Get out the rebellion now, because, when Jesus comes back, there's no more time for rebellion. Rebellion is judged. And either you're ready, making yourselves ready to be called home, or you're still stuck in your rebellion. And that's the narcissist. They're stuck in their rebellion. They chose for themselves to live the earthly experience, and the earth is their home. This is just our stepping stone. Divine advocacy. I like that. Yeah. The accusers are the executioners. Yes, Michael. Wow. He was instructed to allow people to flee due to harsh laws, leading to have time for court. Wasn't he instructed to make 3 cities? I have to read that again. I'll have to read that because you're making a good point. Thank you. You're bringing some stuff to the table here that maybe we'll do that in our Bible study tomorrow. Interesting. Yeah, with PayPal, you get everything. Yeah. How much did they take out on the live stream donations? 30%. 30% on live stream donations. With PayPal, I get everything. So, and it goes, see, with YouTube, they pay out every month. So any donations that I've received so far, I haven't seen it. I get it. It's sitting in AdSense, and it's going to be at least a month before I get it. So they pay every month. And I just started monetizing this YouTube channel, so it's going to take more than that because I'm waiting for confirmation pin in the mail, snail mail, and they sent me a notification last week that it's going to take at least 3 weeks to get here. So 2 months before I receive any donations, and then it starts every month. But with PayPal, it's like right away. It just goes into my PayPal, and I can, get in there and transfer the money into my PayPal or into my bank account right away. So that's why I like PayPal. Super chats and stuff, this is helping the algorithms. I kind of didn't want to do this, but I've learned that it helps the algorithms and gets this channel seen out to where it needs to go because it's showing that it's important. Like this is like money drives the bus sort of thing. So I want this channel to be seen. I want people helped. So that's why I kind of monetize this channel through super chats. I haven't put ads or anything on these videos, but yeah, we're taking super chats. And so thanks for your question. And yeah, you have a GoFundMe for your live stream, shows the raise money to renovate my porch. Awesome. You have an aviary for your pet pigeons and dove. Oh yeah, PayPal is pretty good. I know people don't like PayPal because there's lots of controversy. I mean, but it's convenient. So Shannon, does Ko-Fi also take out the same percentage? No, actually Ko-Fi goes right to my PayPal and they don't take a percentage. They take if it's a reoccurring payment, like a reoccurring service, like for my services, when you guys have an hour-long session, when you sign up to have an hour-long session with me, I do charge for that, $45 an hour to talk with me on the phone or on face-to-face. Ko-Fi will take $5 from that, but that's all I've seen. Everything else, it's just straight across the board, exactly like PayPal. They just put it to my account. So there's a fee. PayPal charges a fee for transfer, it's $1 or something, or maybe 22 cents or 10 cents on the dollar or something like that. It's not very much at all. So and it's better because even with Amazon, see, I do have some paperback books on Amazon because I self-publish through there, but a $30 book on Amazon, okay, so if I want to charge $30 for a book, Amazon is, well, if you have Amazon Prime, it's free shipping, but that $30 that I want to come to me doesn't come to me. I see $3 of it. Amazon takes the rest. So that's why I don't advertise for paperback books. But Jordan, you do have a paperback book coming, because I've got some books here. But yeah, so I just like, you know what? When you're an author, it's like, it takes, okay, you've got to do the research. You got to flesh out your ideas. You've got to write and rewrite. You've got to do the outline. You've got to brainstorm. You got to collect your thoughts. You got to collect all your information. You've got to, you know, there's a lot to this process. And from start to finish, from writing a book, like starting from outline or just from the brainstorming to finish, it can take anywhere from 1 year to 2 years. And because this is all I do, I spend all my day, like if I'm going to write a manuscript for like a book, it's an everyday thing, all day process, all day, sometimes all night. And with that also, I lay down, my process is when I finish writing a chapter, I go through it and edit it. And then I lay down that chapter, I start working on the next chapter, but I usually lay the chapter that, or the book that I have written, I lay it down for about 2 weeks, return to it with fresh eyes, then go over it, reread it, rewrite it, and make edits. And sometimes, because I do this myself, there are going to be mistakes. You know, I try my best to get the spelling mistakes out of there, but sometimes I overlook it. So with that said, okay, with the editing taken care of, then there's the pictures that I need to collect if I'm doing a picture book. There's the formatting, getting it ready for Amazon's formatting, because every page, you know, on pages you have margins, so there's formatting, so you have to be careful of that. It's called the bleed page, like the outside bleed. Then there's the synopsis that you have to write. Then there's the pictures that you have to, the front cover, the back cover. There's a lot that goes into writing a book if you decide to become an independent author. And with that said, it's not just, you know, a year's worth of writing. This is also includes formatting, editing, and getting it ready to publish. Amazon doesn't pay me for all that extra work. And I'm only getting a $3. It's equivalent to going and freelancing and getting charged, you know, 1 cent a word that you write, and your client wants 500 words. Well, getting paid 1 cent a word isn't going to pay the bills. So that's why I have my Ko-Fi channel. That's why I have PDF booklets, because this is what I do. I'm an author and I help you. And if I go and work, I can't be doing this, like, because writing just takes up so much of my time. I don't have time. Like, I was working last year for part-time. I was driving 2 hours to somebody's home to help with their hoarding and cleaning and organizing their house. I was working at their house for 5 hours, spending another 2 hours on the road. So 2 hours drive there, 5 hours at their house, 2 hours drive home. I get home I was leaving at 8 o'clock in the morning to be there by 10 or 11. So I get there early, have some me time, and I'd walk the lake. There's Lake Ontario. I would walk the shoreline, the beach, and spend an hour meditating or whatever before I went to work. But after I got off work, I'd be like getting home at 7 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening, sometimes even 8 o'clock in the evening because of rush hour traffic. I'd have no time to do a video. And I'd be like writing out, sometimes going to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, writing and trying to dedicate some hours devoted to this channel. So I can't do that. So that's why, and you know, I've always written. I mean, I've always been writing, and I can't stop. I love it. It's what I've been meant to do, and I encourage you guys to always try to seek out God's will in the form of discovering what your gift and talent is, because gifts and talents are needed in this world today. And I'm serious, because with this trauma and this world being so narcissistic, we're losing our divinity through our creativity. And I know being with narcissists, that stops your creativity as well. And you know, I stopped singing, I stopped dancing, stopped swimming. I love swimming. I even stopped my laugh for a narcissist. And I'm not doing that again. And I'd rather suffer. And I'm being truthful, and I am suffering, as we all are. But I would rather suffer I would rather put human life first than put money over humans. That's the way I roll. And I would rather suffer and not eat and have God's word out there for you guys than to get a leg up and be a millionaire and be a YouTube, what do they call it, influencer. I don't want that name. I just want to be able to shine the love of God and share what I have been given. And my talents and my knowledge that I've been given is not going to be shared with anybody at Walmart or at McDonald's or shoveling snow for people and their sidewalks. Yeah, we need to live. But what kind of life is this if we can't share God, if we can't be who we are meant to be? God's children, right? I'm sorry. This matters to me because this is part of my childhood trauma, where I was a foster child and I was fostered out for money. And that's why the foster family kept me, because they got money. And I just like, you know what? That's not the role I'm going to play. And I saw right away how my foster dad, he made empty promises. And, you know, my foster sisters, his own blood daughters, he made promises to them and he never kept them. And you know what he did? He tried to buy our love with fancy clothes and watches and money and, you know, chocolate and treats. And I just like, no, this isn't the way I'm going to live. I'm not going to have anybody buy my love. And that's the narcissist that I've attracted. So you guys know a little bit about what I'm about. I don't like suffering, but this is my calling to help get out the word of God, because we're living in times where God is just on the cusp. We're on the cusp of seeing his return. And I've been where, you know, I was following God and then I was forced out of my comfort zone through a divorce and coming here and to this city and getting involved with narcissists and losing God and losing ground, losing that security in God, in my faith in God, in my relationship with God. And now that I'm finding it again, I'm not freaking losing it. I'm not losing God, and I don't want you guys to lose God either. No, 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 no. If we are to, I firmly believe that our suffering is to show us how good God is. And he loves you. He loves us. and we are not forsaken. And we're learning that this is just a mindset, like we talked about yesterday, the mind meld of Dr. Spock on Star Trek. That's what this is. Everything is a freaking illusion. And it's the narcissists that make money. They put money over God, and I don't want us to do that. Yes, we're struggling. Yes, we need money. Yes, I get that. And God does want us to prosper, and prosper so that we can share, so that we can do the things that we need to do in His name, so that we're not stifled. It's like, for me, I want to have a clinic. I do. I want to have a clinic. I want us to have retreats, and I can't do that because a lack of money. So that's my goal. That's where I want to take this. I want to be shining the light of God forever. And I'm not trying to make this about me. I'm just trying to share with you guys where I'm coming from. This has been my ultimate goal since I started this. I've been helping people since I was 16 years old, peer support. And this channel exists because when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to talk about my life, my family, my trauma in my foster home. And kids at school asked me, what's the deal? You got curly hair, your hair is brown, your your sisters they have blonde hair and it's straight. What's the deal? So I started saying, okay, I'm a foster kid and this is my story, and they'd listen. So this is my way of giving back. And, without this channel, I wouldn't have, I've growing with you guys. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to let me spill. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to heal along with you guys and just share Jesus. That's ultimately, we're family and we're going home, and I don't want anybody left behind. And, I certainly don't want the narcissist left behind either, but that's not my call. My calling is to see my family members, you guys, heal. I mean, I'm just planting seeds. The Holy Spirit does the rest. But I know we're going to see each other in heaven. I know that. With the narcissist, I'm not so sure. But that's not my call. I can just offer a healthy respect. Like, let's have some sort of respect for them, because they did have a hand. They did help. Even though they didn't intend to help us, they did help us get here. They did help us heal. So it is about gratitude and respect. That's right, Cynthia. It is. And I just want to say thank you. I can't thank you enough for your support. I can't thank you enough for how much you guys have helped me personally. And if you're helping me, I know you guys are helping yourself. And I can't thank you enough for listening to God and being strong. I know how difficult it is. At sometimes you just want to give up. Like, I've never been suicidal, but I've talked to some of people who have been. But I know myself, even though I haven't wanted to end my life, I've been at a point where I've been so frustrated, where I don't know what is up and what is down. And I feel like, God, you just forsaken me. Like, where are you? And I'm thankful that we can come together and share that, because the hopelessness that we feel, I know we have to feel hopelessness in order to feel hopeful. But I don't want us to feel that ever again. It's a horrible place to be. It's horrible. And I don't even think the narcissist feels hopeless. I don't even think they know what hopeless feels like. And you have to feel, I think you have to be empathetic in order to feel hopeless. I think you have to. And feeling these negative feelings for us is a gift, because it shows us to whom we truly belong. So I want us to honor our feelings, all of it. I don't, there's people out there who say you have to kill the ego. No, that's not our job. That's not our responsibility. God says, don't worry about the one who can kill the flesh, but worry about the one who can kill both flesh and spirit. Well, the ego is a part of who we are. We've identified it with it so long. It is a part of us. But we can become masters over it. And yeah, it's something like our humanity is something to celebrate. And if we can celebrate our humanity, then certainly we can celebrate our divinity, right? So I've kept you guys long enough. I've bawled enough. I'm off my soapbox now. So I'm going to let you guys go. 222, my number's awesome. I just want to say thank you, everyone. I love you. And God be with you. God is with you. And I love you. And I want you to know that. I really do love all of you. It's such a pleasure to get to know you. I never thought I've been isolated my whole life, and I never thought I was going to find a friendship and a family. And you guys have made me feel like I have a family and I belong. So I just wanted to say thank you. You guys are true and honest people, and I love you, and I always will love you. You guys matter. So with that said, enjoy your afternoon, and I look forward to seeing you tonight at 10 o'clock p.m. And if you guys want, important links are in the description. By all means, you're welcome to email me and let's talk anytime. That's free. My help is I will help you. And you guys, what I promise you with this channel, as I've always stated, I will give you guys my best. That's most important to me. I want to give you all the information that I have, and to help you make informed decisions. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I just want to be able to share and give you information that maybe you guys don't know, and you guys decide what you want to do with it. So with that said, I love you. See you tonight. Bye. God bless you.